RaceRoom is looking set for one of its biggest updates yet. On September 5, we'll be getting an overhauled graphics as well as a bunch of new content, including some modern GT3 cars, as well as one of my favourite eras of DTM racing, and some tracks, including one track that is literally just a blast back and forth down a freeway. RaceRoom has a huge amount of content, but it still tends to get a little bit overlooked in 2024. One of the main things I see sim racers complain about is the graphics in the game, but this announced update should look to fix some of those issues. The graphics update has higher res textures, as well as a bunch more updates. The lighting has been overhauled, looks much more up to 2024 standards, and the trackside vegetation is a far cry from the previous version. The colors, they pop a lot more, it just looks really good. In fact, no stone has been left unturned by KW Studios, including a performance update, so you should get some more frames on this update. As well as that, there's updates to cloud coverage. The clouds look fantastic. They've also updated the shadows a bunch. There's a new auto exposure feature, so if you're running in like a dark section like a tunnel and then you open up into the light, the kind of exposure will adjust. I see this a lot in Gran Turismo, so this will look cool in RaceRoom. As well as that, there's also updated paints, there's cockpits, reflections generally, track surface lighting, there's depth of field effects, the motion blur has been adjusted, there's like the highlighting of the headlights and the taillights, like the soft lighting around it. There's a bunch of updates. A lot of this stuff is already included in a lot of modern racing sims, but it is really good to see this in RaceRoom. There's a bunch of before and after photos between the update, and honestly, the difference is stunning. The current version, it still looks like the cars are kind of like pasted on top of the track, and the new version, the cars look like they're actually inside the world. I think it looks great. The moody lighting is awesome, and like the sunset kind of lighting, I think is the best. Alongside the graphical update, there is a bunch of new content, and we'll start with the 2024 DTM Pack. This includes all the cars from this year's DTM series, which is running GT3 cars, including one car that was not in the last year's update, that is the Lamborghini. There are 4 Lambos that are raced this year, so it would kind of be a big thing if it wasn't included, so this is really good. There's also the McLaren 720S GT3 Evo that'll be getting released for the first time. This is also going to be released around the same time that iRacing releases the car, so you can compare the two and see which one you like. Alongside these cars, we're going to see updates to a bunch of tracks. This has already happened in 2024 for Bathurst, Imola, Most, Portimao and the Sachsenring, and now we're going to have some more. The main one is Oschersleben. This has been laser scanned to be as accurate as possible. This one will replace the current version. The current version will disappear from the store, and as it is a new track, you will have to buy it again, which kind of sucks, but there will be a discount available during the launch. If you own Mantorp, the Nordschleife, Red Bull Ring, Sepang or Slovakiaring, you will also be happy to know that these tracks are being updated to their 2024 editions. This includes updates to a bunch of branding, curbs, and a lot of other little things. RaceRoom is adding historic versions of the Hockenheimring, Avis, and Defaults for the first time, as they were in 1995. This is a perfect fit for the game's DTM 1995 class, which is also set to expand. The Mercedes C-Class DTM that is already in RaceRoom will now be joined by the 2 other cars that were raced in this series, the Opel Calibra V6 4x4 and the Alfa Romeo 155 V6 Ti. These cars give me huge Sega Touring Car Championship vibes. This is a game that I played a huge amount of in my local cinema arcade when I was a kid, and RaceRoom now features 3 out of the 4 cars from that game. So if you're after some nostalgia, this is going to be pretty good. The full 1995 DTM grid will be available as a result. This is an era that is not found generally in first-party sim racing. Neither are the 1990s versions of Avis or Deepulse for that matter. Deepulse is a relatively unknown airfield track that was raced in the German domestic racing scene up until it closed in 1996. The first races happened in 1968. DTM came to the military airport in Lower Saxony and raced there between 1984 and 1996. Deepulse has appeared as a mod in a bunch of games. I'm sure you could download it from overtake.gg sim.com/downloads. But this will be the first time that we see it as first-party content in a sim racing game, so it'll be really fun to see how it drives. The same is also true for Avis, at least in the modern era of sim racing. Spirit of Speed 1937 was released in 1999 on PC in the UK, and in 2000 on Sega Dreamcast in the rest of the world. That's a blast from the past. This game does feature a version of the track in its most scary form, with the massive straights down the freeway and then the huge banked corner. It was not a very well received game, unfortunately, but this track is very, very cool. You will know the old version for having the crazy banked corner and just being back and forth down a freeway. The modern version is a lot shorter, or the modern-ish version from the mid-1990s. It's a lot shorter. The banked corner isn't there, but it's still a bit of fun. These 3 vintage tracks will be a perfect fit also for the DTM 1992 class, which is also in RaceRoom as well. Could this be the update that puts RaceRoom back on the map for more sim races? Time will tell, we'll have to see. It definitely looks like it will substantially improve a bunch of things, including the graphics. I think it looks great. And the period correct cars and tracks for 1995, I think it's really cool. I'm really looking forward to racing the DTM cars. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let us know in the comments your thoughts, if you're excited about the update or if you're a RaceRoom fan, looking forward to trying out the new graphics. Otherwise, if you like the video, you can leave a like and you can subscribe to Overtake for more sim racing and videos about RaceRoom. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.